Hi everyone, welcome to the show. In today's episode, we are talking with Doug Erickson. He heads up Santa Cruz Works. Those are the folks responsible for Ride Out the Wave. You know that program that recently put a bunch of money into local small businesses' pockets? Well, they have a plethora of programs and Doug is going to walk us through all of them for you, the small business owner. So stay tuned. Let's go. Okay, everyone, welcome to the show. Today's episode, we're very honored to have Doug Erickson. He is the Executive Director of Santa Cruz Works. And for the folks at home that aren't familiar with Santa Cruz Works, we want to dive right in and talk with Doug. He has some amazing tips and resources and best practices for the little guy, the small business owner out there that really is trying to navigate COVID-19. So before we get into those tips, I wanted to have Doug kind of share a little bit about himself and all that Santa Cruz Works does here in the Santa Cruz community. So Doug, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Bryce. It's good to see you, Zoom with you.
Likewise. Well, for the folks at home, can you give a kind of the elevator pitch of what Santa Cruz Works does and all that you do at New Tech Meetup and all that good stuff?
Santa Cruz Works is essentially a 12-year-old organization that started with a monthly event called the Santa Cruz New Tech Meetup. And at that time, it was just a way to bring together tech professionals in our community so that they could network and get to know each other. And I think it was right around 2007, 2009, when the financial crisis hit, that it really took off. Our monthly event just like doubled every single month in terms of attendance. Particularly when I think it was Obama that came out with it was called Startup America, right? Anyway, so that's when it really took off. And what we did is we essentially said to have a thriving tech ecosystem, we need to connect all the various what we call pillars in the tech ecosystem, starting with the educational institutions like UCSC and Cabrillo and CSUMB, and connecting with local government and economic development, connecting with organizations like SBDC and of course a bunch of others that I'll talk about maybe in a bit. Businesses like Looker and all the various businesses, co-working spaces. So connecting all of sort of those independent gears so that they work together was our goal. So we added every single board member is from those various components or gears or pillars, whatever you want to call them, mixed metaphor, Doug. But it's getting all those to work, including venture capital, so that we're a connected and vibrant community. And that's what we do. Santa Cruz Works is connecting, putting on events to drive new skill sets, and also investing in startups to grow our tech ecosystem.
That's fantastic, and I think that's one of the big reasons why the SBDC, and thank you SBDC for arranging the interview, and that's why we're partnered with Santa Cruz Works to help bring those resources to light and help those entrepreneurs start up and get their business thriving and successful and really showcase what Santa Cruz has to offer. I think with that, maybe that's a great segue into some of the tips, resources, best practices that you might have that maybe the startups and the tech community, they're used to using maybe on a daily basis, but maybe there's some tips in there, resources that the little guy, the small business owner, it's not on their radar. They're not aware that it even exists, that they could tap into it. It might be a game changer in some cases. So what do you have for us, Doug?
So there are all these different organizations that are working together to try to help small businesses. Santa Cruz Works recently launched Ride Out the Wave campaign, And initially, we thought, wow, there's so many small businesses out there that shutter in place, literally, not shelter, but shutter your business. It's going to hurt them, right? And so, as well as with artists and musicians, so we put together this campaign that matched gift certificates. You buy, our community, if you buy a gift certificate from your favorite business, we'll match it. And it was so successful that we initially thought, well, we might be able to get $10,000 going out there, and it turned out to be $40,000 in gift certificates that were purchased. And we're about ready to launch it again this Friday, tomorrow. And the tech companies have put in massive amount of money, over $40,000 of matching funds to help out local businesses. So that's a nice way for businesses to get a trick, I think. If you're a small business, make sure you're listed on the rideoutthewave.org site, because that is how you're going to get matching funds and get love from your community.
Exactly. Visit the website and sign up. And
yeah, it's www.rideoutthewave.org. If you're a small business, just list it there. We even have instructions if you don't have an electronic gift certificate. It's a 3-minute process to create one through Square. So we make that available. We just recently announced CEO Works, where we're taking small businesses, SMBs, and as well as mid-size. We're breaking them into groups. CEOs can come and meet once a month with other peers, CEOs, not competitive, to learn what's going on with their businesses, their challenges, and their best practices, and to share that. These CEO sort of meetups have been very successful in other parts of the world, including the Silicon Valley. Typically, they charge anywhere from $2,000 a year to the highest I heard was $20,000 a year to participate in a CEO meetup like this. Ours is free. This is a time where CEOs might feel a little lonely. If you're an owner of a company, you might feel that there's all this weight on top of your shoulders. Well, talk to your peers and learn things from them. If you're a small business and for example, you don't have a CRM, a customer relationship management system, or some sort of ticket support system for your customers, Santa Cruz Works can get you it for 90% off. So instead of paying $4,000 a year, you pay $400. It's a huge discount, but a CRM, and then we give you free resources to set it up. So having a really functional CRM that customers remember everything, every interaction that they've had with your business, right? So they expect you to also know that, and a CRM helps you understand, you can see every interaction you've had, every purchase, every support problem, everything, and it's just, and then you can do mailing from there, and you can do marketing campaigns, and those are important tools to have.
How does a small business access that?
Just through SantaCruzWorks.org, where it says join. There's also AWS credits through that. We give, so working with Amazon Santa Cruz, which builds all of the Alexa software worldwide right here in Santa Cruz. They've given us the ability to give businesses $1,000 worth of AWS credits. So if that's free, that's amazing. So we do that.
A lot of that is a well-kept secret, so I appreciate you sharing that with the viewers at home.
Sure, we're all in this together.
Yeah. So I guess in maybe wrapping things up here, what can you just repeat for the folks at home? What is Santa Cruz Works official website?
Oh, it's www.santacruzworks.org. We've got lots of stuff going on. We're trying to help local businesses as much as we can.
Excellent. Man, well, Doug, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing the just plethora of resources and all the good news that's coming out of this unfortunate kind of situation that we're all in. But everyone's banding together. So, Doug, thank you so much for all that you do and for sharing everything with us today.
Well,
Really
thank you. Thank you, Bryce, and thank you to SBDC. And
yes,
keep
SPD.
charging. Keep charging.
Yes. Excellent. Okay, guys, signing off. Thank you so much, Doug, and we're going to see you real soon. Bye, you guys.